Welcome to SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. People are being harmed by US sanctions, said Prime Minister urged international community to be more active in Rohingya repatriation. Huge crowd at Kamulapur railway station on last working day. No launch cabin till Saturday. Fear of losing passengers again after holidays. Government is considering to introduce shorter working hours and to implement a work from home policy to save electricity. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today urged international community to play a more active role in the Rohingya repatriation to their homeland, realizing the huge burden and over 1 million displaced Myanmar national and Bangladesh under the fallout of the coronavirus and the Russia-Ukraine war. Rohingyas are a huge burden for us. All the countries are facing difficulties due to coronavirus and the Russia-Ukraine war. So all should realize Bangladesh difficulties to tackle another burden of the Rohingyas, as it has also population of the 16.50 crore. She also said the Premier, this while virtually inaugurating the newly constructed 8-story building of the Foreign Ministry and conferring Bangabandhu Medal for the diplomatic excellence from the official Ganabhavan residence in the capital. The Prime Minister said Rohingyas can return to their motherland if the international organizations and countries play a more active role in this regard. As it was the last working day, there was an overflowing crowd at the Kamulapur railway station in the capital since morning. All northbound trains leave late. Passengers of Blue Sea, Dhumketu, Sundarban Express are suffering without 2 to 3 hours delay. However, the Chittagong-bound Mahanagar Pravati and Tista Express left on time. There is no place to set foot in the train compartment. There is a fierce competition among the passengers to get inside as well. Special and the general mail services are full to the brim before departure on Thursday morning. Children, the elderly and women are in a state of shock in the rush of the passengers. Railway authorities said that they are working to make the journey of the passengers smooth. This year, 39,000 passengers are leaving Dhaka every day, as the 2 Eid special have been added to the 36 pairs of trains, according to the Bangladesh Railway. Although the launch has less passengers due to the Podda breeze, the pressure on the Shodorghat has increased ahead of Eid. The launch cabin is not empty till Saturday. People in the south have recently reduced the number of launches, although there is no place to store sesame seeds in the wall of the passengers every time on the occasion of Eid, and this time the situation is different. After the launch of the Podda breeze, the launch journey has come to a standstill. However, regular passengers in the southern part of the country enjoy traveling not by bus but by the launch. They also said launch authorities that since the inauguration of the Podda breeze loses, the several lakh rupees have been incurred on each journey. The launch owners think that the passenger pressure will increase the occasion of the Eid al-Adha. Meanwhile, the government is considering to introduce shorter working hours and implement a work from the home policy in an attempt to save electricity. The Ministry of Power and Energy will make the recommendations on the Ministry of Public Administration and other concerned ministries. Prime Minister Energy Advisor Tawfiq Ilahi Chaudhuri said in a press conference at the Prime Minister's office today. The recent shortage of the power caused by the fuel crisis is behind the recent incidents of the load shedding across the country. The recent power cut is disrupting industrial production while the common people are suffering due to the hot weather. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina gave instructions on the crisis at the program. The government has set Dhaka 78,990 as maximum migration cost at Bangladesh end that the worker will have to bear the secure employment in the Malaysia. Migration costs incurred at the Malaysia end will be borne by the employer as part of the memorandum of the understanding signed between the two countries in December last year. In an office order, the Expatriates and the Welfare Ministry said the cost of migration at the Bangladesh end will cover the several areas, including the passport fees, medical fees, recruiting agency service charge, registration fees, welfare fee and insurance as well. On the other hand, employer will bear 15 types of fees that will be incurred at the Malaysia and including air, the ticket for the first time entry and exit as well. Soaring global food and energy prices have forced 71 million people into the poverty on the World Poorest Countries report United Nations Development Programme published on Thursday. The rise in the developing world poverty rates over the past 3 months is drastically faster than the shock of the COVID-19 pandemic. SATV, in a press release blaming the prices surges in the part of the war in Ukraine. The UNDP also warned in its report that as the central bank raises interest rates to tackle inflation, there is a risk of triggering further recession-produced poverty that will exacerbate the crisis even more, accelerating the deepening the poverty worldwide. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back, and you are watching SATV News. Now, news from abroad. Boris Johnson is to resign as the Conservative leader on Thursday, reports media, following the further ministerial resignation this morning. But he will continue to serve as the Prime Minister until to autumn to allow a Tory leadership contest to take the place. More than 40 ministers and aides have quit on Tuesday, and even some of the PM's closest allies, such as Home Secretary Priti Patel, have reportedly urged him to resign. But the Prime Minister has refused to step down, citing the Ukraine war and the economic pressures. But Johnson has said the departure would be irresponsible. The PM has also said that Michelle Gove, a senior figure in the Conservative Party, as the supporter of the Johnson. He also asked the PM to quit. Johnson has also shut down questioning about the calling a snap election, saying the earliest time frame for the such vote would be 2024. The development followed the latest scandal to rock the Johnson's government, with the MPs angry at the handling of sexual misconduct allegations against the Conservative Deputy Chief Whip, Chris Pincher. The head of US and UK intelligence agencies have raised concern about the Chinese espionage and warned the business leader of the effort of the Beijing to steal their technology to gain a competitive advantage. MI5 Director General Ken McCallum and the FBI Director Christopher Wray held a rare joint address on Wednesday at the UK intelligence agency headquarters as well. They said that Beijing is conducting a large-scale economic and political offensive that leaks billions of dollars worth of the advanced technology and attempt to influence election. The head of the MI5 said the investigations into the Chinese commercial espionage has increased sevenfold since 2018 and the looks so the grow further. And the FBI director criticized Beijing's effort to silence the dissent abroad. Iran's revolutionary guard have detained several foreigners, including the Britain's second most senior envoy to Tehran, for the alleged act as spying, such as taking small sample in the restricted areas. State television reported on Wednesday. It didn't say whether those detained were still under the arrest. These spies were taking art in the samples in Train Central desert, where the Revolutionary Guard airspace and the missile exercise were conducted, straight on the TV set. The TV showed footage on the Giles Whitaker and his family's central Iran, whether the British diplomat appeared to be taking ground the sample. The TV said it was near the area that a missile test was taking place. On the flip side, the UK's Foreign Office released a statement saying report of the arrest of the British diplomat in the Iran are completely false. Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard have been arrested dozens of real nationals and the foreigners in the recent years, mostly espionage and security-related charges. Thousands of festival goers of Spain packed in the streets of the Pamplona. They celebrated their first San Fermin blue running festive on the since outbreak of COVID-19. Taking place on the rainy Wednesday, a participant filled the Pamplona's Town Hall Square to open the event that runs until the July 14. The festival says the 8 bull runs on the total lumber over an 80-meter stretch of the Pamplona's old quarter, with the first time a run scheduled for the Thursday. Each run features 6 fighting bulls and typically lasts for the 3 to 5 minutes as the participants attempt to avoid the being trampled. However, dozens of animal ride activities and protested the event of the Tuesday and sitting calling for the bull run very spoppy, while the rest of the dinosaur cosmen. The festival is not without danger, with at least 16 runners having lost their lives over the years. The story from the sports news. The 13th UEFA Women's European Championship kicked off on Wednesday with a sold-out opening match between the host England and Austria. Amid record-breaking support of the competition will feature 6 teams and the 31 matches, with the final of the tournament to the plate on July 31st. So far, the ticket sales have surpassed 450,000, almost double of the previous record of the 240,000 sold, where the Netherlands hosted the competition 5 years ago. The champions of originally scheduled to take place in July last year, but they are postponed due to COVID-19. England defeated Austria by a 1-0, with the beat made snoring of the first half in front of almost 69,000 fans.
On July 31st. So far, tickets.
Before ending, we'll go through the SATV News headlines again. People are being harmed. US sanctions, said Prime Minister, urged international community to be more active in Rohingya repatriation. Huge crowd at Kamala railway station on last working day. No launch cabin till Saturday. Fear of losing passengers again after holidays. Government is considering to introduce shorter working hours and to implement a work-from-home policy to save electricity. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.